so that was a good end for that video. So I already know what I have to do right now. I sometimes just struggle against it. And how did I pick that up just now? Because now I was again struggling. You know, I was fighting the reality that I want to be with that woman, which I cannot at the moment. And it's painful and it's shit. But I also realize in the place I am right now, you know, I wouldn't be much help to her. And neither would she be much help to me. Because once more we would be confronted with the fact that we can't be together right now. And that's just a painful bitch. That's just like it is. So suck it up, but it means great suffering. You can say no, oh, why is he always going on about, you know, a woman, poor him, right? He can do what he wants. Yeah, but that's just how it is with suffering. It's incredibly relative. And it's incredibly relative, and it's specific to me. For me, it's suffering. Maybe to you it isn't. And maybe you're in a relationship and you don't like it. But, you know, the feeling that you love someone and you know, your feeling tells you that's the one. And that right now you can't be with them is really shit. It's like Neo and Naomi, if that's her name. No, it's not her name. Neo and Trinity in The Matrix. Like, she really loves him. And she does everything to be with him. She would die for him. But every cell of her body is also craving to be with him. And for her, it's incredibly suffering to not know, you know, how he's doing. So you're always worried to miss that person who you love very much. And that's, you know, something you just have to understand, that sometimes if people are in incredible pain, maybe you don't have that pain right now, it's still their pain. And in an earlier video I was talking about, you know, the purpose of spiritual advice from a barbarian lunatic. It's not necessarily to give you every day something new, right? It's not my goal to always do new things. Yes, for me it is, because I have to change and I don't want to get stuck. So before I came here, I was watching Rainbow Kitten Surprise when they're doing their performances. And they're more focused on the performance and like, oh, you know, people love me now, than on actually, you know, just performing. And that's why I don't like musicians as such. Because for example, I create a video, that's it. Now if people would come and ask me to reproduce that same video, I would say, fuck you. Like, why would I go on stage and every time do the same shit over and over again just because people liked it and they want to see it again? I mean, that's what musicians do. They write a song and then they perform it all over again because people want to hear it. And that's the thing, I don't give a shit what people want to hear. No, I say what they need to hear, and it's stop your fucking bickering and do what you have to do, and stop watching so much porn and stop watching so much TV. Maybe it's not what people want to hear, but it's what I'm telling them and what they need to hear, what we need to hear as a society to grow and to realize, I mean, what the fuck are we talking about? We're the best species on the planet or what? I mean, I don't see it. We're the pinnacle of evolution? No, we're fucking retards. We're turning into fucking idiots. We're no better than the animals that we eat. And animals are great. But not if humans get involved and try to manage them. Because we're so much better. So we can, like, what? Sanitize our hands? And then slaughter millions of cows and pigs. I mean, they're living beings. We don't give a shit how they feel as long as we can stuff ourselves full with them. Yeah, and I'm talking to all those vegans too, because you're not on the safe side. You have your own demons. So you can't say, oh, well, I don't eat meat and that's why it's okay. Well, then raise awareness. But don't just make people angry, but just remind them when they're eating meat. Just remind them. Oh, it's actually a dead animal that you're eating there, right? How would you feel if your grandmother would be that? Would you still eat it? Doesn't matter, you will get a lot of shit for that, and? I mean, at least people will, you know, stop feeling like, you know, they're eating something which hasn't been alive, which they are. And now don't come with that shit like, you know, don't eat plants then. Well, that's different. It is different, because you don't eat the whole plant, like you don't eat the whole tree. Of course, then, you know, you shouldn't chop wood at all, but I still think it's something different. And, you know, it's just my own belief. I think eating plants is somewhat okay, because the plant can always also grow new leaves. The pig is just dead. The pig is just dead. And yeah, of course, slaughtering trees is just the same thing. So why don't we just pick up all the dead wood instead of always killing all the trees, you know? I don't know how that's supposed to work. I don't know, because when I see dead trees being cut down, I feel pain. And for me, right now, I feel that a dead tree is the same thing as a dead cow. And that's what most people don't get. For them, a tree is not a living thing. But I see living beings here with needs. That remind us of our own nature. So yeah, so for me, spiritual advice from a barbarian lunatic is basically, its purpose is to just remind you, maybe every day when you watch a video, you know, I'm here too, and I'm also struggling, and there is something like truth, and there is something like spirituality, and there are people that actually live it, you know? You don't have to hide this, but maybe, you know, just don't talk to everybody about it, because not everybody will understand it. Some people will just nod, but they don't get it. So you also have to pay attention to how people are actually living and what they actually say. And instead of talking to them so much, maybe you should once let them talk, and then you realize, you know, if they're actually genuine or not. Like, do they boast a lot about what they do and things like this? Yeah, I boast a lot, but also not really. I just say how it is and how I feel like. You know, I don't talk about things that I didn't do. I don't say things that I don't do. I just say what I feel like and also what I perceive at the moment. So what did I perceive when I came here? And that's when you pick up, because you pay attention to everything that's going on around you. So you pick up things. And I was angry again, because yesterday I had that unknown caller. And then I think maybe it's her, right? Maybe she's trying to reach me. Why does she block her number then? And, you know, I don't know who it was. Maybe it was nobody. Maybe somebody made a mistake, right? And maybe it was her, but I will never know unless she calls again, or he, or whatever. I hope then it's she. It's her. That woman. But I don't know that. So it's driving me insane. But it's also showing me once more, you know, that when I say I don't give a shit, no, I actually do give a shit more than I want to admit to myself. And then I walk here, and on the way here, you know, I pick up different things. For example, I realize she's, always in my heart and on my mind. And I just want to touch her and hold her and be with her, but I can't. So that's just suffering for me. And I sometimes try to tell myself, you know, that I actually don't want to be with her. And that's a lie. And then I walk here and I think about, well, actually, you know, just open up to a new woman. And while I walk here, I hear a man. I don't look where he's shouting from, but I hear he's somewhere in that hotel that is here. And he's shouting, Lass es sein! Let it be. Let it be the way it is right now. You don't always try to force change, right? And also let it be like, stop looking for other women. Because that voice is always telling me, she's your wife. She is your wife. So if you betray your wife in your mind, you also betray her image. But that's then the hard part, because for us, sin is actually something that we do, right? Like we kill somebody. That's sin. But maybe it's already starts when you imagine to kill somebody, because you're basically raping their energy.